Hello, Port Harcourt. Are you looking for
And now the news in detail. As conversations continue about the new opposition coalition, a public affairs analyst based in Port Harcourt, Mr. Ijoma Peters, says the African Democratic Congress, ADC, may face serious challenges now that it has been adopted by a new political coalition. In an interview with correspondent Soibi Oruwari, Peters said one of the likely problems is that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, might not accept letters or official documents from the party's new interim national leadership. Well, he said this is because some ADC members have raised doubts about the legitimacy of those who handed over control of the party.
So there will be challenges. We have a lot of challenges. We have challenges of, INEC. The kind of things we see with INEC today is baffling. We have that challenges as a party, as a coalition. They were, looking at registering a new party at some point. The INEC we have today will not accept to register a political party coming from the coalition. And that was what happened. INEC started giving excuses to register that party. They said if, in as much as it is for the interest of Nigerians, they are going to do it. And they will stand aside to see these leaders pilot the affairs of the party.
Mr. Peters also pointed out that the party's 2023 presidential candidate does not have the power to stop the adoption of the ADC by the coalition, since he is not part of the party's National Working Committee.
Presidential candidate of the ADC coming to say that he doesn't welcome the coalition, to take over their party. He is a stakeholder in the ADC. However, there are structures of political party. The party's leadership, they have resigned and handed the leadership of the party to the coalition. Presidential candidate of the ADC, is he a national officer of the party? No, he's not any of those. So he doesn't have that legal authority to determine whether the ADC should be a vehicle for the coalition or not. So the national officers of the party have done a very good job.
Meanwhile, a Lagos-based political analyst, Liberus Oshoma, warned the new coalition members in the ADC to be careful. He advised them not to allow the ruling APC to plant spies or moles within the party.
You agree with me that there'll be some persons who will be disgruntled, but you need to carry major stakeholders, along. And now, before the birth of the coalition, we're already hearing that, some persons are not happy because they feel that the people that handed over the party are no longer the owners or the leaders of the party. These are the challenges I foresee that they might have. And if you are just starting a new party and you're already having challenges of ownership of the party, then before you begin to resolve those challenges and then now begin to face the real issue, if they are not able, then you might see the coalition moving to another party. Same way they left the SDP and now moved into, ADC.
Mr. Oshoma also said the ADC may not succeed in the 2027 general elections if it chooses the wrong presidential candidate.
Atiku flies the ticket and Peter becomes a running mate to Atiku. I think APC is going to taunt them with the campaigns of 2023. And so that might not tell Peter Obi a little bit. If Atiku is able to bury his ambition and support Peter Obi with his political capital and his financial war chest, certainly they might be able to give the ruling party a run for their money, because considering the support base that Peter Obi enjoyed the last time. So the only way he couldn't get it was the fact that because they didn't come together. If they truly believe they want to rescue Nigeria, then a lot of them will have to bury their individual ambition.
In the meantime, the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, today continued his criticism of former Transportation Minister Chibuike Amaechi, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, and other members of the new opposition coalition. Speaking during the inauguration of the Agoma Palace Radio Nigeria, New Market Road in Abuja, Wike said Amaechi will never come back to power. He accused the former Rivers State governor of putting Nigeria into debt when he was a minister of transportation.
He had an opportunity to be speaker for 4 years. He had an opportunity to be minister of transportation for 8 years. He never made angry Nigerians to be happy. He will not come back to power. 2015, I defeated very powerful governor who wanted his boy to be governor. 2019, super minister, borrowing money from China bank everywhere, making us to be highly indebted. 2019, DG to Mr. President, then he couldn't get 20% from Mr. President. I defeated him.
Well, the FCT minister also took a swipe at former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and urged the leaders of the opposition coalition to show their scorecards.
I have said, everybody show your scorecard. When I was the Senate president in 2023, they said they will support one man whose business has been from 1999, I'm in this party. 2006, I'm in this party. 2014, I'm in this party. 2019, I'm in the other party. Now 2025, I'm in another coalition. The Born You Born coalition.
Elsewhere, the people of the Southeast have demanded a constitution that allows for the rotation of the presidency and grants full autonomy to local governments in the country. They made the request at the Southeast Zonal Public Hearing on Review of the 1999 Constitution organized by the Senate today in Enugu State. Now, speaking during the exercise, Enugu State Governor Peter Mba said the concept of a rotational presidency was paramount to the Southeast. Well, Mba, represented by the Secretary to the Enugu State Government, Professor Chidiebere Onya, also said the governorship should rotate among senatorial zones and legislative seats should be allocated among constituencies. Elsewhere, Justice Binta Nyako of the Federal High Court in Abuja has ordered the Senate to recall the suspended Kogi Central Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Delivering judgment, Justice Nyako described as excessive the 6-month suspension that was imposed on the lawmaker by the Senate. Now, the judge faulted the provision in Chapter 8 of the Senate Standing Rules and Section 14 of the Legislative Houses, Powers and Privileges Act, saying they are overreaching. Away from that, 2 months after the Nigerian Air Force raided a local palm oil mill site in Bunutai, Tai local government area of Rivers State, the owner of the facility, Dumka David, has cried out for justice. Dumka, in an interview, said he has not received any compensation from the Nigerian Air Force. He said the incident has plunged his entire family into economic hardship.
They have not come. I've only heard of the woman whom they pay the charge of the UPTH, whom they shot from my meal. Up to now, nobody has reached me. I'm still expecting them. All my children with me were suffering in the house. That is the only place we sustain. Nothing is happening. You get up to the place is growing grass. Even the women in the community itself are crying. The one I surprised of last week, when they see planes passing on the air, everybody run in.
Dumka also appealed to the federal government and the Nigerian Air Force to urgently compensate him for the loss. He says the attack not only destroyed his equipment and produce, but also shattered years of hard work and investment.
I'm not government come and assist me. What happened to me? They have actually if they're going to some government come compensate and please watch it like I'm on the way. If there is no
as you know, the Chairman of the Bunu Community Development Committee, Sili Kabari, has to compensate all those affected by the incident. In another development, the family of late Goodluck Dimkpa, who was reportedly killed by herdsmen in his farm in Uwike Community, Tai local government area of Rivers State, is calling on the local government administrator to assist the widow. In an interview with correspondent Onyeka Chinwosu, brother of late Goodluck, Mr. Anodum Dimkpa, said the pregnant widow needs financial help to take care of herself and her 2-year-old baby.
Living a little lady now of about 22, 23 years old without anything. In fact, she's not doing anything. We should really need assistance, mostly financial assistance, maybe to help her go into business or anything that, can put food on her table.
Dimkpa also appealed to the police and other well-meaning organizations and individuals to help the family get justice.
The government has given death here to the whole situation. I have not seen anybody from the side of the government, no matter the level the information has gone. He only invited my paramount chief and about two of the Council of Chiefs members and talked with them. That's all. He has never bothered about meeting with the family to give them a little hope. You know, the Deputy Commissioner of Police only said they will switch into action, as into ensuring that peace is returned to the area. But apart from that, I've not seen anything from the side of the police too.
As you may know, the family of the late Goodluck Dimkpa said they found his body in his farm with machete cuts and is believed that he was attacked or killed by herdsmen. On Tuesday, some youths from Ogoni Axis protested to the River State Government House, office of the DSS and the State Police Command, where they were assured that investigation into the matter was ongoing. Late Goodluck Dimkpa left behind a 23-year-old pregnant widow, a 2-year-old daughter and an 80-year-old father. We're going to break now, but still to come, Electricity Union urges federal government to fix AFAM power station lines. Stay tuned.
Special announcement to the general public. This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Thanks for staying with us. And now to the rest of the news. The South-South-Southeast Regional Deputy Secretary General of the Senior Staff Association of Electricity and Allied Companies, Mr. Innocent Lord Douglas, has urged the federal government to fix the two major power lines that supply electricity from the AFAM power station to Port Harcourt. His comments come after many parts of Port Harcourt witnessed power outages for at least 2 days. Mr. Innocent Lord Douglas, in an interview with correspondent Soibi Oruwari, said Port Harcourt residents may face a longer power outage soon if steps are not taken to fix the lines.
I think the only solution here is for government to come in. If nothing happens in a similar situation, Port Harcourt may go into blackout, total blackout that will take time to be rescued. And the only rescue that we need at us now for the government to come and to restrain those lines to have the ability to discharge or transmit generated energy to the distribution company. Those lines that bring energy from generation company to transmission company need to be restrained, need to be changed.
Lord Douglas said the distribution company embarked on load shedding because the two main lines, which used to carry more than 200 megawatts, can now barely deliver 150 megawatts from our farm power station to the consumers.
The problem that the distribution company in Port Harcourt is having is because the line that is bringing power from AFAM, if you give more than that, the lines will break, and the lines are breaking every day. Port Harcourt is supposed to have a normal maximum of 280 megawatts that can sustain Port Harcourt. But what Port Harcourt is having now is about 120 megawatts. Because of that, they are load shedding.
Mr. Lord Douglas also called on the federal government to act quickly and help restore the lines to full capacity. He noted that although the energy sector has been privatized, customers still pay directly into government accounts, which means the government must take responsibility.
Every money you pay as a bill does not go to the distribution company. It goes to federal government cover. It's at the end of that the federal government will take their own. The distribution company will now pay the transmission company. Transmission company will now pay the generation company. Every bill you pay does not go to the distribution company. It goes to federal government cover. Then federal government will remind us how much that the distribution company is supposed to pay for the energy given to them. Federal government will remind us how much that the TCN is supposed to pay for the energy given to them. Whatever that is left for the disco, that is what is used to pay salary.
Well, recently, many parts of Port Harcourt witnessed unstable power supply or did not get a supply at all for at least 2 days in a row. Moving on, the chairman of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, Rivers Bayelsa States, Vincent Okuku, says any ban on single-use plastics in Rivers State will affect manufacturers. Okuku said this while speaking with correspondent Onyekachi Nwosu. Well, he said the government should first liaise with manufacturers before coming up with a decision on single-use plastic.
Just because we want to maybe satisfy the trend in the international community, we just rush in without thinking about how it impacts on our economy. If these factories close down suddenly, it means job loss. Not even be at the forefront is that the raw material for plastic production is one of the indigenous raw materials that we have, and we don't even need to import. Go to Indorama, we get the raw material. So manufacturers, we are not in support of sudden. Give us some light and support for change of production line. Let us now look at the alternative.
Well, the MAN chairman in Rivers and Bayelsa States also argued that many of the data used by environmentalists to argue their points against single-use plastics are sourced abroad and unreliable.
Them bring the data of their research in Rivers State. Give me the data of the health implications in Port Harcourt citizens that from the hospital showing us that either this epidemic is caused by plastic waste consumption. They don't have any data. They are just using international research. So we are saying we are campaigning for more investors to come to Rivers State. Luckily for us, the cheapest raw material that gives us an advantage over every other state in this country is our access to the raw material of plastic, which is from our gas.
But an environmentalist, Mr. Onyekachi Okoro, said the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria should come up with innovative and environmentally friendly ways to package their goods.
They are looking at the financial implications. Innovatively, there are new and more environmental friendly ways of packaging. Our environment dying. Single-use plastics are blocking our sewages. They are finding their way into our food, our marine systems, and they are causing serious epidemics of microplastics. There's a recent research stating that by the year 2030, there will be more plastics in the ocean than there are fishes. And this
Okoro, the executive coordinator of Media Awareness and Justice Initiative, also disagrees with the notion that some of the data used by environmentalists are not reliable. As you may know, on the 1st of July, the Lagos state government started implementing the ban on single-use plastics. Also, in June 2024, the federal government announced a ban on single-use plastics in ministries, departments, and agencies. Here in Rivers State, there has been no decision from the state government, but experts are advocating for a phased ban of single-use plastics. In other news, the Eze Ekpeye Lobo III of Ekpeye Ethnic Nation, Eze Kelvin Ngozi Anugwo, says he has officially approved and declared Ibu Odiohu a distinct kingdom within the Ekpeye ethnic nation. But this was contained in a statement released on 4th July, signed by the SA media to the king and Namoji Bright Felix. Now, the statement says Eze Anugwo said this during the opening ceremony of the Odioku traditional wrestling season held at the Odioku playground. The monarch said he acknowledged the repeated appeals from the people of Odioku for autonomy and confirmed that all necessary procedures for recognition have been fulfilled. He emphasized the importance of preserving the peace currently enjoyed in Ekpeye and cautioned against actions that could jeopardize it. Eze Anugwo also expressed appreciation to His Royal Majesty Eze Nnamdi Obuzo, Eze Ibu Odioku I, for his hospitality. The statement further said the event, which was met with widespread jubilation, was chaired by Dr. Lloyd Ukwu and attended by prominent traditional rulers, including His Royal Highness Eze Ike Ehie Eze Ibu Olukwo II of Olukwo Kingdom. And on the international scene, Hamas says it is consulting other Palestinian groups before giving a formal response to the latest proposal for a new Gaza ceasefire and hostage release deal put forward by the U.S. U.S. President Trump said this morning that he expected to know within 24 hours whether Hamas has agreed to the plan. Well, he said earlier this week that Israel had accepted the conditions necessary for a 60-day ceasefire, during which the parties would work to end the 20-month war. Meanwhile, the Israeli military is continuing to bomb targets across the Gaza Strip. Well, that's the news this evening. But before we go, another look at the highlights. You heard that analysts say the ADC may face legal and political setbacks after the party was adopted by the new coalition. The FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, says former transportation minister Chibuike Amechi will not return to power. And on the foreign scene, Hamas says it is consulting other Palestinian groups on Gaza ceasefire plan. The news was edited by Martha Okere. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Constance Irele Mega. Thank you so much for listening. Good evening.